Hello dear friends, welcome back again. Now in this video we are going to discuss about solubility of drugs. Myself Sonali Devne, Assistant Professor of Jnanvilas College of Pharmacy. So let's start with the solubility of drug. First we will discuss what are the learning objective of this video. Okay, so after the completion of this video you will be able to apply the knowledge of solubility and you will be able to explain solute solvent mechanism. Now start with the introduction of solubility. Why? First we will discuss why this solubility is important. So many of the new pharmaceutical drugs are highly hydrophobic in nature, and due to this hydrophobicity of that drug many of the components are insoluble in water, and to improve the absorption or to show the maximum pharmacological effect, the drug must be solubilized in a water. Hence, the solubility is very important in pharmacy. So first discuss with the definition of solubility, and it is defined as concentration of a solute that dissolve in a given solvent at room temperature to form a homogeneous solution. Again, it is quantitatively defined as it is a spontaneous interaction of two or more substances to form a homogeneous molecular dispersion. Hence, this solubility is defined quantitatively as well as qualitatively. Quantitatively means in this we just determine the what are the concentration of solute that goes into the solvent at room temperature is a quantitative definition, and in qualitative definition just we check what the spontaneous interaction which is takes place between the two or more substance which leads to formation of a molecular dispersion. Now discuss the what is the solvent and solute. The solvent is the component that determines the phase of a solution. Means this solvent is present in a large portion in the formulation, and the component which is present in large portion that is known as solute, and the component which is present in small amount in a formulation is known as solute. Now the solubility is categorized as unbuffered solubility, buffered solubility, and the intrinsic solubility. The unbuffered solubility means it is the solubility of a drug in water at the terminal pH of a formulation is known as unbuffered solubility. The buffered solubility means it is the solubility of a drug at particular pH is known as buffered solubility, and in intrinsic solubility it is the solubility of drug, it is the solubility of ionizable drug in its neutral form is known as intrinsic solubility. The solution is defined as it is a homogeneous system in which solute is completely dissolved in a solvent and present in a molecular level is known as a solution. The solution is of a two types. First one is the dilute and concentrated solution. Next one is the ideal and non-ideal solution. Dilute means in which the concentration of solute is less, and the concentrated means in which the concentration of solute is more. Ideal and non-ideal solution we will discuss in next video. In pharma, there are three types of solubility is very important. First one is the solubility of gas in liquid, and it is well explained by using a Henry's law. Now discuss with the next important solubility, that is solubility of liquids in liquids, and it is of a three types. Complete miscibility, example is the hydroalcohol. In pharma the elixir is a hydroalcoholic system. Next example is the aromatic water. Second one is the partial immiscibility, example is the phenol water system, nicotine water system and ether water system. Third one is the immiscibility. The best example is the water and oil, that means the emulsion, and this water oil system is stabilized or dispersed by using a emulsifying agent. The next solubility is solubility of solids in liquids, and again it is of a three types. First one is the saturated solution. The saturated solution means it is a solution in which the equilibrium is set between the dissolved and undissolved solute is known as a saturated solution. Okay. Next one is the unsaturated solution is defined as a solution in which the concentration of solute is less than the equilibrium concentration is known as unsaturated or subsaturated solution. And the third one is the supersaturated solution in which the concentration of solute is higher than the equilibrium concentration, and it is formed under a specific condition, and that specific condition is increased temperature, so is known as a supersaturated solution. Here is the reflection spot. Before moving to the next content, just answer these questions. Okay. So take a notebook and write down the answer of this question. How does the solute get solubilized in solvent, and what is the mechanism behind that? So here is the answer of the reflection spot. Now we'll discuss the mechanism of a solute-solvent interaction, or how does this solute is solubilized into a solvent to form a solution. So first, when the solute and solvent interact, the favorable interaction takes place between them and form a solution. So there are mainly three steps by which this solute get solubilized into a solvent, or the solute solvent interaction. The first step is the detachment of a solute from the bulk form. Okay, so this is the solute molecule in which the every molecule or the every atom is bound by a strong intermolecular forces, and these forces may be a cohesive force. So first step is these particles may detach from each other. Okay, it may be in a loose condition, or the this strong intermolecular force is converted into the less intermolecular force. So that here we see that how this bulk solute, or the how the solute molecule is detached from the bulk form. So here you see that this is the detachment of a solute from the bulk. Okay, this first step is endothermic process, and it has a positive delta H, that is the enthalpy. Endothermic means some energy we have to provide to detach the solute from the bulk of a solute, and when we provide this energy, the randomness of a solute atoms or solute molecules is increased, and hence the intermolecular forces is decreased. The next step is the formation of a vacant site in a solvent. Again, this is a endothermic process, and it has a positive enthalpy. Just like a first step, the solvent molecule is get detached from the solvent molecule and one vacant site is formed inside the solvent. Same, this process is endothermic, means some energy we have to provide to form a vacant site in a solvent, and again it has a positive enthalpy, means the randomness of a solvent molecule is increased, and due to increase in randomness the intermolecular forces is decreased. The last step in the solute-solvent interaction is the insertion of a detached solute molecule in a vacant site of a solvent. So here is the detached solute molecule. This detached solute molecule is inserted in the vacant site of a solvent and the result is like that. Okay, so here is the solute molecule is embedded in a solvent molecule. This third step is a exothermic process, means some energy is released during this process and hence the enthalpy is negative. I hope you understand this video. Thank you.